All right, so this is going to be technically episode 3 of Working Title. And I say episode 3 because I honestly taped 2 of them already, but because so much more work, I guess, has gone into building out the YouTube channel and getting all the other social media stuff going, it's been like they're still sitting there like unedited basically, and so much stuff keeps happening. It's like I listen to it's funny, like I'm about to talk about listening to podcasts on a podcast, but that's what this is about, right? It's just one, it's kind of a thought experiment. I thought it would be kind of a interesting way to get to know the people who've subscribed, and by the way, thank you very much. The channel is growing way faster than I anticipated, which is it's a good problem to have, so considering myself blessed. And so anyway, I was listening to I listen to podcasts about various things. I try to keep it, try not to like pin myself down into like one thing, because I'll get tunnel vision, and so I try to spread it out, a little bit of like news, a little bit of like film stuff, a little bit of even some like self-care type stuff, and but on the film podcast that I listen to, which I guess I'm now technically a competitor, but I don't, it's not really like that. I don't think it seems like in the creative space, everyone kind of is happy to like help each other out. So yeah, so I'm like a regular listener of the Big Picture, and it's a really good movie podcast. And sometimes I hear people on there complaining about like the lack of good movies out. And as somebody who within the last year has tried to like really take reviewing and critiquing them professionally, I don't feel that way. I feel like there's not everything that I plan to watch and end up watching is good or like excellent, and even less is excellent, I should say. But there's no list, like my watch list right now. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Okay, my IMDb watch list right now has 49 things on it. And it's like, it's insanity. And I think that was one of the reasons why I actually wanted to do this, is because, but there's so many shows. I'm going to run through like real quick here. And I guess since I'm not doing video for this, if you are listening to this or watching this on YouTube, I'll try and figure out, I'll put some screenshots in, or maybe do a letterbox list or something to put up on the screen. But just real quick. So I'm just going to run through a few movies that are not out yet that I would like to see and possibly cover. This is not including TV shows that I still have. Okay, so in the list coming, we got Retribution. I don't have dates here, I'm sorry. I just have the actual list. So we have Retribution, which looks like it's Liam Neeson, and it looks like basically a transporter copy. So I marked that, but I'm gonna be honest, I love Taken, the original Taken 2 is solid, and I like some of the other Liam Neeson movies that are kind of in that same lane, but it's like I feel like that's all they are at this point. They're just kind of carbon copies. So I don't know if I'll even watch this one. Like this one it'll be an early cut, like if I don't have time. Then the next one, so this one's interesting. Okay. So this one is You Are Not Invited to My I always thought it was Bar Mitzvah, but is it Bat Mitzvah? I don't know. If anybody of the Jewish faith listens to this, like, let me know in the comments that I pronounced it wrong, because I probably did. But this one is intriguing to me, and so I'm kind of glad I'm doing this, because I never would have gotten to cover this movie. So it's an Adam Sandler movie. It's coming out on Netflix. Again, I don't have a date. Maybe I'll put the dates in the comments. I'll try if I remember. And if I don't remember and somebody again listens to this, that's what the comments are for, because I forget stuff. So, but I guess I'll be editing this and like getting it ready. So I'll probably hear it like 20 times. So yeah, mental note to self. Okay, and then here's another one. I'm kind of in turmoil over. I'm gonna be honest. I love Denzel, but we're on The Equalizer 3 now. All right, and I see Antoine Fuqua is directing again. Looks like Dakota Fanning is in this one. And honestly, I can't remember. I know a lot of people really liked The Equalizer 2. And I thought it was solid. I loved the first one. Or not love, but I liked the first one way better. The one with Chloe Grace Moritz. But although I'll say The Equalizer 2 did have Daddy Pedro, in that one. So I always love to see him in anything. Pedro Pascal. But again, it's the same thing with Liam Neeson now. And let's be real right here. When I watched the trailer for, and actually the movie that spawned me doing this tonight, Gran Turismo, which I will get to, they played the trailer for Equalizer 3, and I think it comes out in September. But I think he should stop making these movies. And I say that as somebody who loves watching him act in movies, and I love watching his son act in movies, John David Washington. I was watching a movie with him earlier that we might talk about a little bit. But it's fine to be old or older and do action movies. Like, look at Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, like Liam Neeson. But Denzel is not taking care of himself the way an action star needs to take care of himself. Like if you're doing action movies, and he's more like, if you've seen Flight, which I love, he's in shape for Flight, where he's, sleeping in and partying all night and killing bottles of wild turkey and snorting lines of coke off the girl from Yellowstone. I think it might be good. Again, same thing with Retribution. Like, it'd be an early cut, man. I hate to say that. Like, I think Denzel's just getting that paycheck. There, I said it. I feel bad. I have One Piece marked on my watch list. I don't know why. I think I'm just going to unmark it right now. I like some anime, but I'm not going to cover anime on the channel. Sorry if when I said One Piece anyone got excited, but I don't even know why I marked it. I guess because, I don't know, I always get kind of curious when they do these adaptations, because I know they keep doing them, even though, like, I personally, all right, here I go talking about anime. I said I wasn't going to do it, but Death Note, which is a good anime. I have not finished it, but it's good. I haven't watched the remakes that they did on Netflix, but everyone that I've ever talked to that has watched them says that they're terrible, but then they keep doing them. So I don't know. So you see where I'm getting? Like, I haven't even scrolled up yet. The Good Mother. I don't know. Oh, I just see Hilary Swank. Let's see. A journalist who, after the murder of her estranged son, forms an unlikely alliance with his pregnant girlfriend to track down those responsible for his death. That was a lot of words. Together they confront a world of drugs and corruption. I should work on my, if I'm going to do this, I'll work on my movie trailer voice for if I have to do it again. I think I just marked this one because anytime I see, so here's something I can tell you about me. When it comes to films, like, one of the things that's like, I don't know, I guess if you had to rank like the elements of a film, like the performances and the actors, I guess, would be at the top tier. It's really close between 1 and 2, between the acting, directing, and cinematography. They're also interlinked, but I mean, you show up for the stars. You'll watch a good movie that doesn't have stars in it, but you're not going to watch you'll watch like a worse movie if it has stars. they make it tolerable. So anytime I see certain names, basically I'm down. So like Hilary Swank is one of those, and like the next movie I'm gonna talk about has one. So anyway, Good Mother, I think that's the only reason. It doesn't sound any like particularly special or like interesting. Like it'll probably be a solid movie. And then the next one, Next Goal Wins. Okay, I'm so conflicted on Taika Waititi. For me, like the only movie of his, well, let me think. Well, I don't think I can look. I'm gonna just double check this real quick while we're talking here. But I want to say that the only movie of his I've liked has been Thor Ragnarok. That seems harsh because I feel like there's got to be something else. I mean, the first time I saw Love and Thunder, I thought it was all right. Well, actually, I take that back. I actually kind of enjoyed it the first time. Like, I really got into the goats for some reason. And I think it was like one of the first MCU movies to be released after the pandemic. So it was just, I don't know. I kind of got into it. And I'm a big Christian Bale. That's another one of those names where I'm just in. And I thought him as Gore the God Butcher was pretty dope. So it wasn't a total waste. And what's her name? Jane Foster, Natalie Portman, my Gemini queen. Like I'll watch, and Tessa Thompson. Like, so there was, again, you know, like they made, you have enough good actor, you know, good people there to watch. Like it goes a long way for me. So yeah, I'm looking through. Okay, Jojo Rabbit, didn't like it. Or it's just not for me, you know. Like he's got a very distinct style. Like I mean, you people know this. Like Wes Anderson or something, you know. Like he has his fans, but so for me, but I watched the trailer for this one called Next Goal Wins. I think it comes out September or October. But it's got Michael Fassbender, and it's not like a news story, but it's based on. I mean, it's a sports movie. Basically like a Cool Runnings, if you remember that one. Like, but basically, you know, the coach from another country comes in and like brings this team that should never win, like to the, like that kind of story. Remember the Titans, Friday Night Lights, that kind of shit. But it looks funny. It's set in, I think, New Zealand, where Waititi's from, and so that's why I got a good vibe from it. Like Fassbender is always like, he's never bad. Like I can't think of a movie I've seen with him in it that was bad. But I think that this one's set like in Taika's home country, and it's like about rugby and like his culture, and it's a comedy. Like, I don't know, I just got a good vibe from the trailer, and so like I'm kind of excited about that one. And then this one here is interesting. There are so many movies. Like, what are these people talking about? Like, that say that Hollywood is like dried up. Like, I don't know. Okay, now this one, it's a fourth, but I'm gonna say like the trailer kind of sold me. Like, the Expendables 4 has a long list of action stars, you know, and like I think you're either in on the Expendables franchise or you're not, you know, and it's mostly for, you know, the action junkies. Really, like, what generation is that? It's not millennials. The one before that, I forget whatever, but you know, the ones that grew up watching Schwarzenegger and Stallone in the 80s and 90s, and who know who like Dolph Lundgren is. But this one looks fun. You know, they added a few new people. Megan Fox is there, and God, there was a couple of faces. I can't think of his name, but that guy from The Raid, who is probably like one of the most exciting martial artists for me personally to watch on film ever. 50 Cent shows up for this one. So, and he's actually a better actor. Like, I've never heard anybody say he's bad, but he's surprisingly like. I'll try and think of a few. 50 Cent. Maybe I'll put a list together, but he's actually a pretty solid actor. And then let's see, there's the TV show, The Continental, that's based on the John Wick universe. I'm just gonna run through these last couple like pretty quick. But then The Creator, Rebel Moon, the Zack Snyder movie on Netflix in the fall, Challengers, the Zendaya movie. It's like there, and I'm missing some. Oh, and then I saw a trailer for another one called Dumb Money. That's based on. It's another like based on a true story about like something about hedge funds and GameStop, and I don't know, but it looks really good. It looks funny, almost like an Adam McKay style movie. So yeah, I think there's so much exciting stuff like coming. So I don't know. I think it's a cool time for movies. You know, the MCU's not dominating. Like I wish it would come back a little bit harder. To be honest. I'm a big MCU fan, but I like a little bit of everything. So, but anyway, so like I guess I'll go ahead and get to the point of all this, which was I saw Gran Turismo today, and I was going to, you know, I've been playing with the format here, like just trying to figure out what works, like how I can cover the most stuff and put out the most content and try and find that balance. And so if I did it the way I was planning, like I may have gotten to do this review like a week from now or 2 weeks from now. So I'm just going to do it in this format. And then, you know, if a few more people go see the movie, and because I want this movie to do well, I guess that's the thing. Like I wanted to do this tonight. Because it's so rare. Like I think movies it's so expensive, you know, it's such an expensive trip, you know, and there's like so many choices, and I don't know, it just matters to me, like just letting people know, like when I see something like that like really makes an impact on me. So yeah, so Gran Turismo, which honestly, I was excited about in a way. Like, okay, there will be several disclaimers through my review of Gran Turismo. Number one is I grew up as a gamer, very familiar with the game itself. I was talking with my son the other day about how in college when we would play Gran Turismo, I mean, we would literally play this game just like the kid in the movie. So I guess I should say. Let me say this. I'll just do the summary. So basically, the Gran Turismo, the movie, directed by Neil Blomkamp, is a. We'll pause here. Let me get back to the movie. Okay. So. Yeah, so directed by Neil Blomkamp, written by Jason Hall, Zach Balin, and Alex C. I'm probably going to say some names wrong here. Excuse me. I'm probably going to say some names wrong here. Actually, I know I'm going to say especially one wrong, but and which I hate because he's so good in this movie. But okay, so the basics of. I did not know that this ever happened, even though I played the game when I was younger. Played the game quite a bit, but apparently, I'm not sure even what year, and I didn't look for this, so I apologize. But basically, they call this people are calling it a game adaptation, which is how I went in. But Gran Turismo is not a game adaptation. Like this movie, it's almost like a biopic that just centers around this extraordinary contest that the Nissan, I heard it pronounced different ways, racing team held for gamers. So it's not. I think that, and I think that's why it was like so unexpected for me, and why I thought it was something kind of special, was because. Like things started to make sense to me, because when I saw the trailer for this and I saw who was directing it, like I'm a huge I'm gonna say his name wrong, Neil Blomkamp fan. since way back in like the District 9, Elysium, Chappie. Like I'm a huge fan of his, and so when I saw his name pop up after the trailer for Gran Turismo, I was really surprised. But then, like, as the movie, like, 10 minutes go by, 15, 20, and so on, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it all started to make sense. And I had an idea because, if you're familiar with, like, David Harbour and Orlando Bloom, like I haven't seen Orlando Bloom in a movie in, like, 5 years or so. Like, I don't know what he's doing or where he's been, but, like, I think that just tells you he's not the type of actor to just, go and do, like, any crap movie just for a paycheck. So he saw something in this script, and I think David Harbour did too, who's coming into his own as an actor. Like, he just had that Santa movie, and he's in the MCU now as one of the Thunderbolts. So, like, great things for him. Stranger Things, he started out, he's our boy Hopper. So I saw, like, good pieces in play. Oh, and then the kid, let me get his name. Okay, here's one of the first name I'm going to mispronounce. Archie Madekwe. Sorry, Archie. So I knew he looked familiar, but I could not place him until I got out of the movie. But he was in Midsommar, which was Ari Aster's, I guess you would call it psychological thriller. Like, I don't know what you call that movie. I love it, but I couldn't tell you technically what genre it is. But it's but anyway, so he was in that, and fantastic young actor, man. He, like, I'm gonna say about halfway, like, I was thinking, like, okay, his performance, like, he's solid, man. He's like, and I knew he looked familiar, but then as it went on and, like, the movie took turns that, like, I wasn't expecting, like, and you really got to see, like, his range. Like, that man is a star. Like, he's phenomenal actor. So anyway, so basically, Nissan, the team, let me back up. So it actually started with the game. So it is, in a way, like, it's a movie about the game and about, the young man. But basically the game designer approached Nissan, if I remember correctly. I may get some of this wrong, but basically I think the designer approached Nissan, and then Nissan, like, developed the contest, like, headed up by Orlando Bloom's, the person he played, Danny Moore, who's like a marketing executive, had this idea to create the contest and, like, pick the best gamer and then put him through this academy. And so that was the deal. The winner of this online challenge would go to this Nissan Academy and train to be a legit race car driver, and then go and compete, right? And so that's basically, the setup for the movie. In the first third, I would say, like, the first act of the movie is just, that process. We meet what is this? The Jan. So yeah, and that's basically the first act. We meet Jan Mardenborough, the young man from the UK who ends up, winning the contest and getting into the academy. Yeah, so that's basically the first act, and it's pretty, stereotypical. Just getting to know the characters, spend a little time with Jan, the driver. We're introduced to David Harbour's character, the chief, like, I guess the head coach for the racing team, and and they're all getting to know each other, and it's all kind of standard, but it's all, like, done very well. It's all standard sports movie type stuff. We meet the athlete. He's the underdog, and then but he takes advantage of his big shot. He wins the contest. He gets into the academy, and then it's his struggles from there. And honestly, like, that was kind of where I expected the movie. Like, I thought that was going to be the whole movie, was just him getting into the program, like the program was going to be hard, and then he was going to win and he was going to go on to be a driver. But that was really just the beginning of the movie, once he wins the program and he is like the Nissan pick, like, there are things like, there are not going to be any spoilers. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but I'm just going to say, like, that's really just the jumping off point for this movie. Like, it goes well beyond that into, Jan going into I'm not sure if it was, I know it wasn't IndyCar, because I know what Indy cars look like, but I'm not sure if it's like F1 or what type of racing, but it deals with his early career, in that sport. And it's just like, the entire film is like the pacing is excellent the entire time. Like, early on in the beginning, when we're getting to know Jan, like, you could say like there might be like 5 minutes here or 3 minutes there that could have been like, that you wouldn't have missed, with like his love life. But they're nice, like the scenes are like, kind of touching, and like, you're just kind of getting to know the driver Jan, and it's fine. But the vibe that I got from like the second third on through the end was like, it the whole movie shifted. Like, I was about to say shifted gears, like, and feel really stupid, but it did shift, and it felt more like, if you've seen Ford versus Ferrari, or really, that's what came to mind. Like, it really felt more like Ford versus Ferrari, like that caliber of film, like in the like the stakes for like Jan, for his family, for the marketing team, for Nissan, like the stakes were real, like, for all the people involved in this story, I mean, and not just like careers, but like, life and death. And that was the part that was like, really, like, I wasn't really expecting it to hit me the way it did. And then, as far as it being like, it really feels like a sports movie, the racing sequences were like, I saw the movie. I didn't see it I don't know if it's playing in IMAX. I saw it in XD, which is a solid theater. I've been to really nice IMAXs in big cities, and this one's it's solid. Like, the sound was really good. Like, and I saw Oppenheimer in the exact same theater, a few weeks ago. And I'm gonna say this here, like, I'm not gonna say Gran Turismo is a better film, like apples to apples, than Oppenheimer, but I had 100 times more fun, like, in the 2.5 or whatever hours I spent watching Gran Turismo than I did watching Oppenheimer. And I thought Oppenheimer was excellent. I think I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd, and I'm as big a fan of Christopher Nolan as I am of Neil Blomkamp. And what they set out to do, Neil Blomkamp just came out to make a good ass movie. Like, he didn't come to make a video game adaptation. He came to make a spectacle, Okay, let me break it down like this, and then I'm just gonna stop, because I could literally do a deep dive on this movie, and maybe I will when it comes out. But here's how I'm gonna break it down. I'm not sure if this movie is 5 stars. I'm undecided. I know that I went on the Letterboxd. I already gave it 4.5, and I'm going to say this, like, from the top to the bottom, my experience in the theater, from performances, the direction, the sound design, the cinematography, it was all amazing. Every piece of it to me was top notch. Like, you can't say, like, it's based on a true story, so like, the story was touching and inspiring. I think everyone involved in the film, like, I got the vibe that they all loved making this movie, like, and it felt like that, and it kind of came through like that to me. I didn't want to say this, but like I bought a couple times, like, during it. So I didn't script this. I had an outline, and so I was a little bit all over the place, but all that to say, Thank you, for listening. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you have a chance this weekend, if you have the opportunity and you're going to the movies, like, I'd highly recommend Gran Turismo. It's really not a video game adaptation. Like, I think that there's something there for everyone. It's for sure not a chick flick. I know that there's some lady gamers out there, and there are females who love cars. Like, so I hope more than just like guys, because it looks like a bro movie, but it's really just good. So I highly recommend it. And then quick shout out. Like, I just want to say real quick, let me pull it up before I stop record, because I have been meaning to do this. I've told so many people about this movie, and I do not have a review for it. So, like, quickly, like in like 2 minutes or less, like, I just want to urge people, when they get a chance, to watch the movie Past Lives. I watched it like probably, I don't know, a month or two ago, and I just haven't had time to review it for this channel, but I know it's going to be coming out soon. Actually, I think it looks like you can actually buy it now on Prime. It's $20, so I'd probably wait till you can rent it. Just, it's directed by Celine Song. It stars Greta Lee, Teo Yo, John Magaro, and it's a very simple story. I think it's Celine Song's first feature. From what I understand, she was a playwright, and I think if after you watch this and you think about that, like, you'll see it. It's a very simple story, and while the story is simple, and like, in the grand scheme of things, the stakes are low, the way that the film is shot and the way that sorry, it's so messed up. It's funny. I'm sitting here talking, trailer was playing, and I started getting emotional, like, just watching it, and like, I don't know, just experiencing it again. It's so good. It's a simple story about a girl who immigrates from China when she's young, and how she copes with being an immigrant, being a young woman, leaving everything behind. And then she ends up reconnecting with basically like her first crush from back home in Korea. But by this time, take that back. They reconnect, things don't work out, they break up again, she gets married, and then the boyfriend from Korea pops back up, and chaos ensues. And by chaos I mean the guy from Korea comes to America and hangs out. It's and then everybody gets to deal with the conflict and the emotions and the fallout, and get to think about their choices and like who they are and like what they've done with their lives. And it's a great way to spend 2 hours. And I mean, it's beautifully shot. Like, it's like so easy on the eyes. The score is like just sucks you into the world, and I cannot recommend it more. So I'm sorry it took me so long to actually do that, and hope lots of people go watch it and enjoy it, and that way they'll make more movies like it. So thank you.